And welcome back. Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents segment. Good to see you again.
Good to be here.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
First things first. You have two more estate planning workshops coming up in the month of December.
Yep, last two of the year, on the 8th at 6 o'clock and then on the 9th at 2 o'clock. And I believe the one on the 8th is full, but you could call the office and find out. But we do have some openings for 2 o'clock on the 9th. And that'll be, I think, the last two that we do this year. And then we'll start off our next year sometime in January.
All right, talk to me about what people can expect at these workshops.
Well, you know, the workshops are designed around making estate planning easy.
Right.
The basics of estate planning is what it's called. And really what we do is we just cover every aspect of estate planning, and we highlight each one and the different ways you can do it. Not every situation is the same, so we try to give people a lot of information so that they can go home and digest that and then come back in and sit down and have a discussion about what direction they want to go.
Right.
And that seems to be working, and be a great time to do that before the holidays. That way when the family's together, you can have a discussion.
And it's also kind of an active participation. You don't have to just sit and listen. You can ask questions and get a little personal information.
Yeah, absolutely. We keep the group small due to the COVID thing, so we want everybody to feel comfortable, and by keeping it small, that allows us more time. So we have time to kind of ask questions or get questions answered along the way, and it you know, as you can see, the group seems to be enjoying themselves.
Yeah. You're going to learn something.
That's right.
And
that's
it'll
what
be
we
important to you.
Yeah, that's
right.
what we owe.
Okay. We're going to switch bases now. So let's take a look at today's question, if we could.
Yeah.
All right. And today's question, what is a good number to consider when planning supplemental income? I have Social Security income and a small pension now. So how much would be safe to leverage from my investment accounts? Talk to me about that.
So, you know, that's a really good question we get all the time, because when people retire or when they've been in retirement, now they want to bump their income a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you leverage money out of your investment accounts? And, you know, there's no formula. It's whatever makes a person feel comfortable as far as what their needs are and things like that. So there's four things that I like to address when I meet folks that have got a question like this gentleman does. You know, you have to keep the balance in relationship with the need. So, for example, if you've got $100,000 in a retirement account and you need $20,000 a year to supplement your income, you're probably going to run out of money pretty quickly.
Anymore, yeah.
Because it won't sustain that much leverage out of that account.
Right.
So you've got to look at that and how sustainable you know, that income is. The one thing that people fail to look at is risk on the balance. So, you know, the example would go, same 100,000, but you've got it in a variable type environment that has fluctuations both directions, and you're leveraging income out of it. So when the account is down, you're still leveraging income, so you're putting more stress on the investment. When the account's up, everything's good, birds are singing, everybody's happy. But when it's doing this, it can put some undue stress on the investment. So I think we have to look at that, the risk versus the need and the sustainability of that. Now, the formula that everybody has followed for years is kind of a 4% rule. So if I can leverage 4% out, then I'm comfortable with that, and that should be sustainable. Well, that's true, but what if you need more? So if you need 5, 6, 7% out, can your investment sustain itself for the period of time that you need? You know, if you're 70 years old, you want to plan for 20 years of income to make sure you don't run out. We got to make sure that it lasts. So my advice usually is look for a tool, because you're at a different stage of retirement.
Right.
You're not worried about accumulation, you're worried about income. Look for a tool that's going to provide you with guaranteed income options, regardless of your balance, and still leaves you in control of your money. So those are the things that I would want to focus on with that gentleman. and then figure out what kind of leverage that they need.
Right.
But it's not unrealistic to think that you can leverage 5 or 6% out of your accounts and sustain that for retirement.
Now, as always, if you have a financial question for Bruce, visit his website, resourcecenterinc.com, or give him a call at 417-882-1800. And Bruce,
Be glad to help.
thank you for being here.
You bet. See you next
Appreciate
week.
it. All right, up next, Cammie tries her hand, or rather her feet, at Silver Sneakers in this week's Ozarks Everyday Fitness. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.